So today we're going to talk about this entity JPY sell that I took, and well, let's go ahead and talk about it. So starting off on the daily time frame, you can see that we are bullish, right? Because we were making higher highs and higher lows. And if we want to go ahead and map that out with structure, this is our low, right? Then we came up to make a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then higher high, right? And if you don't know about market structure, all it is basically price was low, right? And then it was up here, so it's a high, and then it came down to make a higher low, right here. So higher high, higher low, and then it broke this point right here, right, to make a higher high. And then it came down to make a higher low, and then it broke this point to make a new higher high. Then it came down to make a higher low, and then it broke this point to put in a new higher high right here, right? So basically the market is bullish right now, right? And I'm going to show you guys where I kind of traded this. So even though we're bullish, we can see that we're coming. So let's just say that this is our new higher high, right? And after every higher high, what do? We come down to make a new what? A higher low, right? So we put a new higher high, higher low. So we put a new higher high. So I was just thinking that this is going to be the new high low, right? Because it was off of, I'm going to show you guys my chart in a little bit, but basically, where's support? So here, just basically off this support level in this fib, right? I was thinking that this is going to be the new higher low, right? Because we came up here to make a higher high, right? Higher low. And then we broke that to make a new higher high, higher low. So this is our new range right here, right? From a higher high, from the higher low to the higher high. So this is the only places that we were trading once we made that new higher high. Well, once we fell, right? Once we started falling, this is our new range right here, from the higher low to the higher high. So we can come anywhere right here to go up, right? Come anywhere here to go up. Or if we start breaking the higher low, then we would start looking for sales, right? To continue the trend or whatever happens to structure, right? But I was just thinking that we were going to put in a new higher low. This is going to be our new higher low, right? Since the market started pushing up and breaking structures, right? I was thinking that we were going to keep going up. So basically, I was just looking for buys in here on the 4-hour time frame, right? So this is way before I was even looking for sales. So I was thinking that this is going to be our higher low point right here, right? So I started trying to look for buys. So it was a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So the market was just keep going bullish, right? So I was just trying to look for buys. So basically this is what my chart looked like. And I'm not going to really be on the daily time frame too much on this trade because it was a lower time frame trade, even though I just told you guys what I thought it was going to happen. But so basically it was a higher high, higher low, higher high, and I thought this was going to be the new higher low to put in a new higher high, right? So I was looking for buys for the time being, right? And then go to the 4-hour. So like I said, I was looking for buys. So I was just looking for buys anywhere in between here, right? So I was waiting for once price broke up here, I was waiting for it to come back, test down these recent highs that are struggling to break through, right? So a little break and retest just to go at the higher low that I said was down here to try to flow to make a new higher high, right? To have a little risk to a high risk to reward. Because if you can catch on to something like that, if we're going to say we're going to put in a new higher high, right, you could probably catch something like if we say we got this trade right here, like I was just talking about. You can have a stop loss like right here, take profit just for the recent highs, 11 to 9, 12 to 9. Even though I don't take no trades like this really risk rewards. I take 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s regularly, but this is still a good trade, obviously. But to put in a new higher high, you can trade for something up here, right? But I was just looking for a new higher high, so I was just looking to trade with the trend, right? So this is what I was looking at right here, right? So I seen the price make a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then price made the higher high, right? So once price was right here, I was looking for a retest right here, right? So if you go to the 2-hour, you can see it better. So I was just looking for a buy in here, right? So it made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then it broke structure, right? So it was going to get out early buyers in the market, and I was thinking that it was going to come back down, break these buyers right here too, and then come down here to tap this imbalance. If you go in the lower time frame, even though you can see it there, there's an imbalance in price right here where I thought price is going to come and tap, right? So it never tapped that, and instead it just made a higher high, or higher high, higher low, and it just took off, right, without coming back to test this level. So I was like, dang, it didn't come back to test this level. But then I was like, hold on, if it didn't come to test this level, since it made a new higher high, higher low, and then put in this new higher high, I can probably catch a sell to come back to this level, right? So since I didn't catch it going up, I can probably get it, since on the lower time frame it's on a higher high. And what happens after a higher high in the forex market? It's a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So after every higher high, what happens? The market exhausts, right? It comes down for a retest and then pushes up. Comes down for a retest and then pushes up, right? So the market don't just keep going up, right? It has to come down. So that's what I thought the market was going to do. So up here I was just looking for sales, right? And also I was looking for sales. So for that reason, like I just said, because we was coming up for a higher high, and I was looking for a price to come back to test this imbalance, right? Because that's like a magnetic zone, basically. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to talk about trade, but basically I just knew that price had to come back here, right? And it made a higher high, so I knew it had to retrace at least a little bit. So that's on the lower time frame. And on the daily time frame, there was also an imbalance right here. So you see how price made on the higher time frame too. It made a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then after it made the higher high, it fell. Well, after it fell, it impulsed, right? And when it impulsed, it made an imbalance right here, right? And that's just where price impulses fast and just leaves a gap in price, right? And price has to come back and fill this gap, right? So I was just knowing that price tapped into this imbalance, right here. So price nicked into this imbalance, as you can tell, right here. That's the top one, right? So the top one is the imbalance on the higher time frames, right? So we can take that off. Since price tapped into that, we know that that imbalance is cleared, right? And it also hit this key level, right, where people was probably buying that right here, so they probably got stopped out with that for liquidity, right? So that's two more reasons. So then the next, all I had to do was wait for structure to shift out of this little area, right? Since this is where I was looking to get into the sell, right? Since I couldn't get into the buy here, it made a higher high, higher low, and just took off. So I couldn't get into the buy to float the trend to make that new higher high, like I said. But then I seen that price hit that supply zone, this area right here, and I was looking for it to come back down to this imbalance, like I said, right? So basically I was just looking for a sell in here, right? So now let's go to the lower time frame, since I know that I'm looking for a sell in there. Let's take all this other stuff off too. And I currently do not have the replay mode, as you can tell, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me on this. So now let's go to the lower time frame, like I said. And usually I don't really dip into the 5 minute like that, but recently I've been using the 5 minute a lot at key levels, just to see what's happening better, a little bit better, right? So basically right here, so once it got to the area I was talking about, right? So on the higher time frame, this is that area that I went like this to, right? And on the lower time frame, this is what it looks like now that we're at the area. So we can see that. So this is another thing with trading. If you're trying to sell, you always want to wait for everything to shift with you, right? So if you're trying to sell, and this is what the time frame looks like on the daily. So the time frame on the daily is going down, right? So that's good. What you gonna do with this? And then time frame on the 4 hours going down, right? So that's good. But let's say the time frame on the 1 hour is still making higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Would you want to sell right here if it's still making higher highs and higher lows? No, you'll want to wait for a price to start breaking structures and then start looking for sales, right? And then start riding away. So you always want to wait for everything to start riding with you, riding with the flow, right? That's really important. So let's start seeing what it looks like. So basically we're on a 5 minute, we're on that key level that I said we're on, right? So let's see what's happening with price. So we can see price made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then higher high, right? So the range is from here to here, right? And this is on the 5 minute. So now, what can we see with price, right? Price made a higher high, higher low, higher high. So now we can see the price break this and close under? No. So we're still good, right? And then price went up here and it never broke this, right? So we didn't make a higher high. So we're still in this range, right? Now let's see. Now what happens? Price finally broke it, right? And it closed under it. That's important, right? And then just wick under it, it closed under it. So now it's showing us bears are in the market, right? They're starting to get into the market. So now that we close under it, we can see that we're having a high, low, lower high, and then lower low now, right? So now with the market, like I was just talking about down here, it's starting to flow with our trend, right? So now that it's flowing, now we're just looking for a place to get in right here, right? And now we're getting in right here, we're gonna have a little risk to reward, or a little risk to a big reward, right? Since we're in a smaller time frame looking at it, and then we're gonna take profit on the higher time frames, right? So this is just where the imbalance was in the lower time frame, so this is where I put it at, right? So you can see how price shot that little gap after it made the high, low, lower high, lower low, right? So there was an imbalance here, and it cleared that right here, and then it left another imbalance. So I was just waiting for this to get cleared, right? So this is basically what I was looking at. So like I said, it was a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price didn't break right here, finally broke right here, and then also, well, it left the imbalance like I said, and then also right here is where people probably got in right here, and this is where I was low-key trying to get in, right? But then I was trying to be patient, right? Because you always got to be patient in the market and just see what's happening. So if you see equal highs right here, right, you don't want to just get into the trade right here. You want those to get stopped out and then have enough liquidity built up to take the move down, right? So you always want to be patient. So now let's see what happens. So bam, took those equal highs out, right? So you can just take this off the chart. Buy sellers, and then bam, now we hit this imbalance, right? So we can take that off the chart. So now what's happening with price? Like I said, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So price is still going up, right? Even though we're high, low, lower high, lower low, we're still in this smaller time frame upwards channel, right? So we're still waiting for this to break, right? So we're not going to trade against the trend, like I said. So we're still waiting for this to break. So now, once that hit this imbalance, like I said, because the imbalance is right here, this is where we're looking. So price then broke this higher low, right? So low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it ranges from this higher low to the higher high. So now we finally broke that, right? So now we're completely bearish, right? So now that we broke the higher low, we're up here, we're making high, low, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then new lower lows, right? Now we're looking completely bearish. So this is where I got into the trade after we came and hit this imbalance, right? So after we broke this low, we had to come back up and correct a little bit. And as you can see, we did that. And once we did that, we came and tapped this imbalance zone, and I got in like right around, yeah, like right around here. I'll show you guys on my Google Sheets, but I got in like right around here, and let's see what happened. So like I said, cleared this imbalance zone. It was right here somewhere. Then we cleared this one right here, and then there was another one right here, and then a small time frame we cleared another one. So I got in right here off this wick, right, and then let's see what happened with price on 30 minute. So it dropped, made a new low, lower high, lower low. So now now we're definitely bearish, right? So high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're completely going down, right? So now we're good. And we just kept putting in new lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And then right here, as you can tell, it take profit, right? So this trade happened in like, I forgot how long it took, but from here to here, it took 1, 2, 3. So 3 hours from up here to down here. So let's see how many pips that was. So just 3 hours, it shot 80 pips on the NJ. So it moved quick. It's still going down, right? We're breaking these structures, so we're not looking bullish anymore. Or at the time being, at least, we're not looking bullish, right? So as you can tell, so that's what the trade looked like. And if you want a little summary again, like I said, so I made a higher high, higher low, higher high, and I was thinking this is going to be the higher low, right, to make the higher high. But then I see this imbalance zone, like I said, and then I knew that it had to come back to this imbalance zone to fill this, right? So I was looking for a sell into this area. That's the small time frame we were just talking about. So I was looking for a sell into here off this daily imbalance zone right here, right? So if we look here, look right, you can tell we hit it right here, right? So I was looking for a sell right here after it took liquidity off this Q level 2. And then it was also, if you can see, I forgot to say this, it was a bigger time frame, head and shoulders, right? So that's just a lot of confluence is looking right here to take the sell. So that's what the sell looked like, and I hope you guys understand. Appreciate it.